farts. Sarah strode straight toward a tall, slender woman with a long beak nose and hair pulled back in an austere bun, who glared at them from a doorway at the end of the hall. "Hello?" She smiled at the woman, not surprised when she didn't smile back. "It's a pleasure to meet you." Sarah infused a bit of siren charm into her words, hoping her seductive voice would be hard to resist, then arched back when the woman's lips twisted into a scowl. "I'm Dame Doublewort." Her face was a mask of stone. "Siren charms don't work on me." She held the office door open and motioned to a chair in front of a wide, gray desk. "Come in." Sarah's eyes widened as she walked past Dame Doublewort. In the magical world, sometimes one's name was an indication of one's appearance. Dame Doublewort had no visible warts on her face, but that didn't mean she didn't have them somewhere. Her imagination raced with possibilities, most of which made her stomach churn. "Thank you so much for seeing us." Miss Pratt's rapidly buzzing wings ground to a halt when Dame Doublewort held out a staying hand. She dropped to the floor with a squeak and a curse and jutted tiny hands on her hips, glaring at the formidable headmistress. Dame Doublewort arched a thin brow and scowled down at the purple-haired pixie. "And you are?" "Penelope Pixie-Feather Pratt." Miss Pratt pulled back narrow shoulders, flashing a triumphant grin. "I'm Lord Goldenwand's personal assistant." Sarah fought an eye roll. She suspected her grandfather's name didn't carry much weight with Dame Doublewort. "Miss Pratt, I don't believe your name was called." Dame Doublewort crossed her arms and impatiently tapped her foot. Miss Pratt's jaw dropped. "But Sarah's grandfather has no influence here." Dame Doublewort shooed Miss Pratt away as if she was swatting a bug. "Now, if you'd excuse us." "Fine," Miss Pratt huffed, eyes crossing. "Shoo," Sarah mouthed, waving Miss Pratt into the musty hall, her grin widening when Dame Doublewort slammed the door in the pixie's face. She'd never liked Miss Pratt, and not just because she was a whiny, impatient little mouse. Miss Pratt had a habit of shadowing Sarah at the most inopportune times and reporting everything back to Grandfather, including the rumors that Sarah had slept with every professor at her former school. Miss Pratt was a short snitch with a dragon-sized grudge wedged up her twat. Looking her over with an assessing glare, Dame Doublewort motioned for Sarah to sit. She sat in a slick, squeaky chair, cringing when it wobbled beneath her. She wasn't surprised this school couldn't afford decent furniture, given the condition of the place. The outside had been just as decrepit, a crumbling, gray building located in the heart of an old cemetery. This was a far cry from her last school, which was located at the edge of the beautiful city of Siren, overlooking a tropical beach. That school had been beyond luxurious. If only her former headmistress hadn't believed those stupid rumors. "Sarah Goldenwand." Dame Doublewort's lips twisted into a tighter scowl, as if she'd just finished sucking on a rotten lemon or the timer on her 15-minute enema had expired. Refusing to be intimidated, she brushed a strand of her wavy auburn hair behind her ear and turned up her chin. "Yes?" If it was at all possible, Dame Doublewort's disapproving expression deepened. "The correct response is, yes, ma'am." She fought back a curse. Grinding her teeth, she spit out the words. "Yes, ma'am." She had no choice but to kiss Doublewort's ass. This school was her only hope. 150 billion merlins were at stake, thanks to Grandfather's ridiculous rule. No diploma, no inheritance. She enjoyed designer purses and shoes too much to end up poor. Dame Doublewort perused a file as thick as a tomb, shaking her head. "Let me get this straight. You seduced every one of your professors at your previous school, ruining no less than 5 marriages." She tensed. "Only one professor. And he wasn't married as far as I know." Her face contorted with distaste, her gaze practically boring holes in Sarah's skull. "One professor is bad enough." Unnerved by Dame Doublewort's